Alright folks, welcome back to another raid video, and we're going to do a champion guide today because we haven't done one in a little while, and I've been meaning to do one for Sethalia for quite a wee bit just now, so let's just get on with this one. She is actually, I don't want to say forgotten about, but perhaps she is a little forgotten about how good she actually is. I think pre-AI patch she was like my most wanted because I pulled her fairly recently. Buff strip because her buff strip was great with the AI, and at the time I would have loved Kymar to work, but his AI always prioritized his A3. So now that the AI patch has come out, I think she's maybe taken a little step backwards, but in certain situations with certain champions, she's unbelievably good, which I'll explain. So let's just go ahead and look at her skill kit first, as always. So our A1, it's nothing too special, has a 60% chance when booked of placing an HP burn for 2 turns. I say nothing special, it is actually pretty damn good, and I'll explain why later in the video. Our A2 is pretty good too. It removes all debuffs from target allies, so full cleanse, then block debuffs, then heals them by a massive amount, 75% chance with an extra couple of small, obviously they aren't additive, they're accumulative, but yeah, that's a massive amount of healing you're getting there. So if that heals them fully, heals all other allies by 20% as well, which is huge on its own right, and fills their turn meter. So this is actually a much better skill than people give it credit for. 2 turn cooldown as well, which is absolutely insane. This is one of the reasons I think she's maybe forgotten about how good she is for arena defense. Because although Kymar is really good and he does the strip and then he also resets everything and starts all over again, just for genuine, like every 2 turns, you're doing a single target cleanse, but then block debuffs is coming up, and you're getting the healing everyone else, turn meter increase, because it's pretty likely with 75% chance you're gonna fully heal them. Just a really good ability. But then our A3 is actually her best ability. Now this is on a 3 turn cooldown. It's 100% chance of removing all buffs from all enemies, then decreases turn meters of enemies by 10%, and fills the turn meters of allies by 10%. Now this is increased to 20 and 20 if 5 or more buffs were removed. So if you can get this to 5 or more buffs removed, this is an insane skill. Now, again, I'm comparing her to Kymar because they're kind of doing the same role, but Kymar can sleep, which can actually end up a lot more than a 20-20 deficit because they have to wake up and take a whole extra turn. But well, they're both magic affinity, but because he doesn't attack on it, it can weak hit, whereas this won't weak hit, it's just doing it. So that is the advantage of using her. So it's a pretty solid ability, this. In fact, very, very solid. One of the best buff strips, if not in the game. If not the best. I quite like Gurgles. I think his is pretty damn good, especially with the extra turn, but I think this is really, really, really good as well. Um, Magic Resist is a pretty poor aura, I'm not going to lie. Just things that are like one specific affinity are never super good, to be honest, so not amazing. But yeah, that's that there. So for our artifacts, we're looking for these kind of stats. So you want 2 things really high. You want her speed super high, and you want her accuracy super high. For the way I'm using her anyway. Defense and HP, I've tried to get a little bit into it, but yeah, it's a bit difficult when you're going for these high stats. You could probably lower this, if you're gold 4, you don't need, I mean, this is like platinum level type stats. You could get this down to like 270, 280, with about 450, 500 accuracy here, and you'll be more than enough. Perhaps then you could actually put some more in defense and HP. But that is her there. Her masteries, you definitely want Eagle Eye because you want as much accuracy as possible. And then I like to on my defensive champions, get Lore of Steel for more stuff. And then Wisdom of Battle, Resurgent are both very good. Cycle of Revenge as well, always useful too. So that is her build just now. Let's take her into Arena and I'll show you what I think is the best way to use her now. I'm not specifically going to go over her in offense because she's kind of self-explanatory on offense. She strips them, she increases your turn meter, she decreases their turn meter, lets your nuker go, blah blah blah, you're done. Very good, very powerful. Use her just like you would a Kymar. Unfortunately, Kymar has the speed aura as well, which makes him the total king. But where I think she really shines is in arena defense. Now let's go and have a look. Right, that is us in Platinum Arena just now. We are ranked 58, so not super high, but high enough to get some good teams. So this is kind of what we're looking for here. We're we're looking for a team that would fight against this team specifically. So let's jump in. So this is the team I've actually been running her in, and it's been doing pretty well, to be honest. Once you take it to kind of top level platinum, it's quite difficult. People kind of know what you're trying to do, but if I had much better gear, I could probably make it to a really solid defense team. So I'm sure there's people that have done this kind of defense before, but the main goal is you want Sethalia removing 5 or more buffs to get the full value out of her. And to be honest, I think the best champion in the whole game to team her with is Tormund for a number of reasons. Number one, simple. They need to use block debuffs. So they either need to use immunity gear or they need someone like a Siphi. Now, Siphi is the most popular choice for this because she's the best, but Siphi also works extremely well with this composition. So the idea being is obviously they're going to go first, but that doesn't matter. What happens is they go up, Siphi puts up block debuffs and all the other buffs because Tormund's in the team, they don't want to get frozen. What happens there is that triggers Valkyrie's passive, which decreases the turn meter of anyone getting buffs. So suddenly their turn meters get decreased quite a bit. Valkyrie's get shot right up. I'm actually running Valkyrie in a Relentless set as well. So what it's done is I've actually got her set to use her A1 first, and she'll use her A1, decrease the turn meter of someone random, screw up their comp a bit. Then, if with any luck, I can get the Relentless proc and get the shield and counter attack off too, which is nuts. Then at that point, because Sethalia is so fast and I'm getting a decent enough speed aura here from the Mortu, Sethalia strips all the buffs, then decreases their turn meter by 20%, increases our turn meter by 20%. Then at that point, they're probably super fast. They might end up taking a turn, but they're going to get frozen because they've got no buffs on them. And I've got a really good CC Tormund in here. And if they're not super fast, Mortu and Tormund are going to take a turn, and then you're going to get provokes here, you're going to get block buffs coming from Mortu, and then you've got the chance of proccing that 20% peril ability through the game, which will just block the revive of champions. Usually will target, I would imagine, the Ray in this instance. So if you do block revive on Ray, game's over, and then they end up quitting. So that is the idea behind it. Let's have a go and see what happens. After me saying all this, I bet it fails miserably. We'll put it in 1 time speed, so as you can see, buffs go up to stop Tormund doing his thing. So that's perfect, that's worked out exactly as we wanted. Obviously they're faster, but now look at the turn meters. Our turn meters are pretty high, so I'm just going to hit auto because this is a defense team and there's no real way to test defenses at this point in this game, so this is the best route. So, I don't have her set to the A1, I'm talking rubbish, so that's a mistake. But there we go, decrease, and then Tormund comes in with provokes, and now, look at this. It's a pretty solid fight. There's a bunch of freezes coming on. Block revive comes straight away in the raid, just like I said. Game over. They give up. 100%. They would just give up at this point because there's no point in playing. They're all frozen. 3 of them frozen. Ray is gone and never coming back from revives. Incidentally, I'm running Tormund in a pretty high CC build. Not actually going to go too much into the Tormund run right now because I use him in my platinum defense all the time. And don't want to give away the game. But yeah, so that's it, guys. The other thing that makes Sethalia so good with Tormund as well is, like I said earlier, her A1 puts down an HP burn. Now, if anyone actually reads Tormund's kit, if the champions are under freeze and HP burn together, then Tormund just starts rattling off his A1 like crazy, which comes about more than you would think with Sethalia's A1, especially if Valkyrie hits her A2 and gets the counterattack up, because then she's going to come out, counterattack them if they hit any AoE. So if she had counterattack on right now, the counterattacks would have come. There's Mortu. Mortu is really clutch in a defense sometimes because he can just block the revive of people. But there we go, HP burns up. If we do freeze her now, let's see if we can freeze from Tormund. There we go, freeze, and look, that blue glow means that's happening. So when she takes damage, Tormund will just automatically do his A1 over and over again, which is insane when they've got a bunch of people up, because then he just starts freezing more people down and it all gets out of control. Look, HP burn and freeze up again. No chance, absolutely no chance. So that's it. Let's see if we can find a few more teams to play against and show it off. But I guess this champion guide isn't so much a champion guide, whereas it's more of a kind of team showcase. It's a really cool arena team that I wanted to kind of show off. Right, so we're keeping looking through just now. I'm looking through specifically for teams like this that are going to be placing like block debuffs up and stuff, because there's no point in me facing teams like this as such, because, well, Tormund will just freeze them all down, but ordinarily a team like this wouldn't attack a team with Tormund in it because it would be bad. Unless they're all in immunity, which I don't know, obviously. But I'm just trying to, for the video's sake, show what a defense would be like. So I know something like this does what it says in the tin. You're forcing immunity with Tormund in there. So because of that, you're getting the buffs, which automatically triggers Valkyrie, which goes into this, which goes into that and that, which, yeah, it's quite a good synergy team. Let's go with this one here. So he's got a fast lead and a Siphi, so he's going to go first. There we go, did exactly what we want. I should have set my Valkyrie, I keep forgetting, to the A1 first, because then she will jump and screw up the turn order of someone. But I don't, so we'll just hit all and see what happens now. Remove buffs, decrease turn meter, provoke comes on, and that way, because of the provoke, Warlord isn't able to lock anyone out. And hopefully we can get Warlord frozen. A block buffs comes up. Freeze is coming on the crucial champs right now. Warlords. Ooh, his AI is not set good for this guy. He should have set that to use the lockout. We're also getting shield from Valkyrie a lot, so it's a pretty tough team to kill as well, even if they do get turns. Warlord's lockout skill comes in there, but that's no problem. Tormund's A1 is so good, and we're also getting the A1 from Sethalia, so lockout's not actually the end of the world here. Especially if we can get some HP burns going up. But at this point, you know, a team like this, the idea of this team is just to stall them. So they'll probably have quit by now. When they see this going on, you'll get a lot of people that will just quit on this team straight away as soon as they see they've been locked out, and not locked out, stripped entirely and frozen, and looking at trying to kill Mortu plus Valkyrie, all this kind of stuff. It's nuts. And because Sethalia is so fast and our cooldowns are so low, even if she does get locked out, you know, you're still getting that the A2 coming up pretty soon. Now, there's one problem with this comp. It doesn't have any revivers, so it is very subject to that. But like I say, it's at 1 minute 40 already. It's still causing issues. A lot of people will have just quit by now anyway, especially when they see no real way to easily beat it quickly. So this is probably all in going to take sort of 2.5, 3 minute fight, which is way too long for Platinum. You'd be better off just leaving at 10 seconds and then going in and getting in like another 4 or 5 wins, nice and easy. Mind you, in today's meta, it is a lot. Well, it was actually 2 minute 4, so it wasn't as good. But yeah, that's one option there. But we still stalled it a fair bit. Let's have a look for some more options. So here we go. We found a couple of more teams. This is like as standard on offense as you get in Raid. So Arbiter into Siphi, into Trunda, into Madame, well, into Madame, into Trunda. So yeah, this is like the standard sort of typical offense team. So this is perfect to try it against. In fact, what I'll do, let's just go out of here right now. What we'll do is we'll run it, but we will actually set this up as a team. Let's use this new AI stuff. So let's go in and hit Mortu. This way we can actually set what we need. And let's go to him, and let's go to and Sethalia. So that is the team there. This AI thing is such a good addition to the game, honestly. What we're going to do is we're going to set Mortu, nothing. Valkyrie, we want our opener to be this. That's exactly what we want. Tormund, yeah, he's fine. And I'm not entirely sure. I wonder if maybe like someone comes in with a real big damage Hegemon, that she'll maybe favour this first over the A3, but just to be safe, we'll put that down as definite opener. Save. That is that team now. Set, start on auto. Let's have a go against the typical offense. Does it sting? We cut in. Look, there we go. Decrease turn meter of Madame, so that's great. So Trunda, even if something happened there, you know, Trunda will now go before Madame. So that screwed them up in another way. So now they're frozen, their turn orders all out of sync. Yeah, it's just a really frustrating team. Look at that. With the A1 freeze, that just makes life super difficult. 3 of them frozen. And that came from the counter attack from Valkyrie. So there's so much synergy going on here. At this point, chances are they'll have quit. definitely actually. In Platinum Arena, more freezes come in. Right, here we go. We've got one more interesting team to try it against. We'll try it with the Mortu version this time, see what happens. We've got a Warlord in here and everything. It's actually demoted us to Gold 4 because we've been losing a few. This is what we need there. We're actually fighting an enemy Valkyrie here, so there's some mad stuff going on with turn meter. They don't specifically have... This is a kind of funny one to fight actually, because this is a defensive team, so of course it's going to take long. I should really be fighting teams with some sort of win condition, because you're not going to fight this is an offense team, so this is a really bad choice, but it's just to show you, again, the stuff that can happen. Block revives happen there, and yeah, that would ordinarily have been like the Trunda, and that would be game over, so you see how it happens. This fight's now going to take God knows how long. I will win it because I've got the only win condition, and I've got enough heals to keep me going through the whole fight, but it's probably going to take forever. Well, maybe not actually. There we go. Sethalia doing her thing. But yeah, probably a bad choice to fight this team because they have no damage dealer as such. Yeah, you get the idea, guys. Let's get out of here. So, yeah, that is the team. I quite like it. It seems to be doing pretty well. I've done a couple of resets with various versions of it. I've actually used Kymar a couple of times instead of Sethalia to do the strip because AI lets them do that now. So you can kind of cut in with the Valkyrie, then have Kymar strip them, and then do stuff all over again. But I really like Sethalia because she synergizes so well with the fact that you need a bunch of buffs up, so she removes all those buffs. Then you get a 40% turn meter deficit, just about as good as what's her name, Lysandra, who is like the best in the game for it. She's 30 and 30, but she doesn't have a buff strip on top of it. So the fact that you're getting a buff strip plus 20 and 20 plus an insane heal to get back up is pretty nuts, to be honest. In fact, it's really nuts. Running that build potentially with like a damage like a damaged Tormund would actually be really good too. So if you built like a full Savage set Tormund who can do a bunch of damage with enough accuracy just to freeze something like the Madame and the Trunda, so like 200, 220 accuracy is more than enough really to be freezing those people. That would actually be a pretty insane build because especially with like Valkyrie's counterattacks, if you do start getting the A1s off, that's just going to do a ton of damage. Plus you've got the chance of HP burn and the freeze triggering on one of the champions, which is going to hit more A1s. And if they've got a Savage set on Tormund and built properly, the A1s will do a ton of damage. So there's potential to make a really, really cool team if you have insane gear to do it. I've probably got decent enough gear to do that, but I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to speculate. So yeah, if any of you guys have used a team similar to this, please leave in the comments below. If not, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please consider subscribing to the channel. It really helps me out, and we are growing day by day, so it's good to see. But anyway, guys, have a great day. Peace.